All right, 14 days after, actually 14 minutes after 7. I mean, you're most welcome. This is the West Nile Television Kokoliriko show with me here, Federick Dramadri, who is actually on the lead of the show. We're going up to the hour of 9, and also we have a couple of issues to be discussed in the show. Remember, it's a very, very bright day, and from the start, we are seeing a lot of events taking place, but also we'll be discussing so many here on this show. Remember, this is the show that comes every Monday to Friday, and also a lot of issues are always discussed in the show. For those of you who want to be part of the show, you can just go to your phone and also search on YouTube and also be able to really catch us live there. But also you can still send us where you're watching us from, and also maybe share your opinions on the issues that have been discussed here. And this is very, very important. Actually, your contribution makes us proud, and also shapes the discussion, and also makes other people to also understand that really these are things that are happening elsewhere. But also, if you don't have anything to type, but you can just tell us where you're watching us from. It's very, very important. But also those who are watching us through Zuku, you are very, very, very most welcome. And also I show a lot of my friends from Kabale who are actually sharing with me a lot of screenshots that they are watching me. I appreciate that. It's very, very important. It's very, very important. And also I hope that you are able to get a lot of sense on the issues that we're actually discussing here. This television makes us proud, and also makes you really learn a lot of things that you can be able to transform yourself with, or maybe understand what is actually going near you, or what is going across the continents. That is very, very important. We'll be going up to the hour of 9, and also I told you earlier on, we are still continuing with the discussions here. A lot of issues are happening locally, international, and also continental level. There is a lot that is happening there. You'll be able to understand that we'll be actually breaking a lot of stories here and there. But also, before we go further, let me welcome those who are actually watching us within the West Nile region, and talk about those in Arua City, those in other parts of this region, talk about Arua district, and also those in Terego district, and the people who are watching us from Maracha, Koboko, Yumbe, Obongi, Ajumani, Moyo, and Pakwach. I talk about those in Nebi and Zombo. We say thank you very, very much, and many others. I know the municipalities are there eagerly waiting for their call. I know we have two major municipalities, that is Koboko and Nebi municipalities, that are yearning to be called as cities in the near future. We hope you also do well, so that you are given that big pronouncement by the ministry, and that only comes when you make your cities clean, organized, and so on, and make sure that the trade in them is actually boosted. These are all border municipalities. Talk about Nebi and also Koboko. And remember, Koboko is just a few kilometers to South Sudan and also DRC, but Nebi is just a few kilometers to DRC. That's why really this will easily grow very, very fast, and that's how really Arua City actually caught the eyes of the ministry and said, okay, now let's put Arua City as a city, and also make sure that it is able to really get that slot to get all those avenues to uplift or facelift the municipality to be a city. And that's the beauty that we have. Those who are watching us from Lango and the Cholsa regions, we say thank you very, very much, and I hope that the Balalu issue is coming to an end soon, because really the brigade commander was elaborately speaking about it, and they said actually the arrangements have been done and to ensure that really these people go, because really the impact of the Balalu on the livelihoods of the people is actually affecting a lot of progress in terms of government initiatives to eradicate people from extreme poverty. Remember, these are people who just move with the animals without even owning a land, without even having in their mind that maybe in front of me there's some crop garden there, or there's somebody's house up there and so on. They don't mind about those things. So animals move just for like that. So it is one thing that is actually being done there. Maybe those who are watching us from Central, Western, we say thank you very, very much, and we hope all is going very, very well. My friend from Soroti City, that is Robert. I don't miss you, and I appreciate that you are always with me, and I appreciate that you were able to catch up the show yesterday, and I love those comments you were able to send me, and I appreciate that many others who are watching us across this country. We appreciate you so much. And I'm not alone in the studios. I have Pish Ochak, that is aka Jalisiga, who is with me, and I will be taking it up to the hour of 9 with him. Maybe Peace.
Yes,
you're most welcome.
Thank you very much. Good morning once again.
The way you've dressed today,
you know, today is Wednesday, and some of us who knows what it means. Wednesday is always
half of the week.
No, it's the middle of the week, it's half of the week, but most important, it is a crash Wednesday. I'm talking about Women's Crash Wednesday. So at least on Wednesdays like this, you need to show up some good impressions, so that even people who are viewing you paint some image to them, that at least there's something cooking. Anyway, good morning, Federick.
Good morning, but you have just decided to take me unaware of the dress code. But
anyway,
it's okay.
It's okay.
I understand that some of you are still there and also planning something.
And also,
we appreciate.
And also, this means that the week is moving on very well. You know, once someone is looking like this, we are coming towards the end of the month.
How do you feel?
Hey, what do you expect? We are coming
the whole of this week, almost coming to the half. You have been here live on Kokoliriko. How do you feel? Because now I've seen you now moving to ties. Even the other time you wanted to put on the eye goggles.
Anyway, that is the uniqueness. When you're coming to the end of the month, they always tells us you have to begin the month with a positive vibe, and also you end it in a positive vibe. Because if you start your new month with a low morale, that self-esteem at the beginning of the month, if it is not there, automatically you will end the month just like that, thinking maybe what will happen towards the end. So that's why you are seeing me dressing like this. And as always, Kokoliriko show, it is a show that informs, and that we also entertain you, and as well we give you lifestyles, okay, like how to behave in public. By the way, we have been talking about dressing codes.
So I understand. The viewer, that is it, and we'll be actually taking you up to the hour of 9. I told you earlier on, there are a couple of issues that we'll be discussing here. Just briefly on the highlights, we have a lot of issues to discuss with you. There are issues of communities demanding for increased funding for social service delivery. This is actually stemming from a lot of issues that are happening in most of the local governments. Remember, the funds have been dwindling. Talk about the community services department, talk about the funds that are going to education sector, the health sector, the issues of drug stock out, but also the issues of infrastructure. General, talk about the roads. What is it that is going on? And remember, recently the Minister for Works and Transport actually communicated that equipment should be reserved at the moment. They should not be brought on roads because of the issues to do with the bad weather and so on. What is the impact? We'll be saying something about it. But also moving forward, there are a lot of issues to do with in the politics. You have DP, which is actually launching its countrywide campaign. 2 factions already. They are actually going to start another FDC saga. We showed some time back. You remember the Birigua's case and the many others. So those are some of the things that are coming up there. We have issues to do with the court issues. I remember another date has been scheduled to hear the anti-homosexuality bill issue. Remember the actual act case. There was a petition against it on 11th of December. That is what we'll be having. But also away from Uganda, you have other issues where 2 days has been given. The first one is today, the next one is tomorrow. That is Israel giving a leave of 2 days to to pave way for some kind of reflection. Okay, that is it. Now war will not be there for 2 days. That is starting today up to tomorrow. So we are here to see what will come after this. That is another issue. But also we'll be moving forward to Hague, okay, where the ICC actually lost a case against Kenya's president, that is William Ruto, where they were accused of issues to do with crimes against humanity during elections, and that is one big issue there that will be actually moving to. There are many others that will be actually bringing forth in the couple of hours that we'll be having here with Peace. And for those of you who are really catching us right now, this is the Kokoliriko show that comes every Monday to Friday, that comes from 7 to 9 a.m. We'll be taking you to the news in Lubarati that comes at 9. That will be by Fete Emmanuel and the team, which will be there to deliver for you that news in Lubarati. But most importantly, there are a lot of issues that we'll be discussing here. You can participate in them by just coming to your comment box and also sharing with us what you feel you could be sharing. What is the situation in your area? What is it that we can do to ensure that the interventions, the livelihood interventions by government having impact on the community, having impact at individual level, having impact on the economic development of the country. Remember, in terms of the GDP, we are not doing well. In terms of actually going further, improving it, we are still at 5.5. I don't know if at the end of the financial year we'll be reaching 6 or 7% that we had actually set as a target. That's one big issue. So we should be able to really look at some of those things. Peace. Let me come back to you. There are issues to do with this program called PDM. I saw a post by a Parliamentary Watch where an MP came on the floor of Parliament and said that in her district people have termed this as a disaster. Is it drinking, what poverty, money and so on. So what do you make of this? There are a lot of talks about PDM, and this was one approach that was actually looking at developments at Paris level, apart from the money itself, where a lot of issues to do with planning, issues to do with the councils at Paris level starting to sit, and issues to do with prioritizing the local economic development priorities at that Paris level to ensure that at national level, these are scrutinized to touch every corner of this country. Now, you realize that people looked at this as an avenue of actually getting donation from government. I will say donation because really many people have misused these funds, because people deviate from the priorities or the enterprises that they actually set. So you realize that many people have misused the funds. I saw a video circulating from Karamoja region where a woman signed the money and started dancing all around and bought even a banana, ordered some youths to go and even step on the banana. See that? The ripe one. So she was like, okay, I have money, you step on it, step on it. Now people were stepping on it, she was dancing around. You see that? So those are things that we are seeing on the ground. So what is it that you have really been able to maybe understand from this program that has been rolled out?
Thank you, Federick. Thank you so much. When you're talking about PDM money, that is, first thing, it is a government program that was launched by the government of Uganda in the fight against, that is, poverty, trying to elevate poverty. But still, one thing that Ugandans have failed to understand: government projects were meant to benefit the community, and if I can have a glimpse on them, most of them, even if they're coming with interest, they don't come with such that may be a higher interest, but they come at a low interest. But people have misunderstood almost every government project. If you're talking about PDM, we're talking about these youth livelihood programs, we're talking about, that is, women empowerment and some others. You may find people have failed to make a proper use of these monies. They think these are free monies given by the government. As I've said, most of the people term this as being, that is, donations. And that's why you are seeing most of these programs, they're not progressing well. And if you look at the money which were meant to be given for, that is, the parish development model project, how much? Was it around 1 million?
1 million
per person, per head.
Yes,
but
yes.
if you try going on the ground and investigate how much people have been getting, you find others have 500, others are having 200, others are having 100, and you ask yourself, what is causing these variations? That is, as far as distribution of the parish development money fund is concerned. And up to now, I failed to understand. The project were meant for people, and they said it is process after process. Maybe after me benefiting, I have to invest the money, I get the profits, I pay back, and I refund the money, the capital, so that it can also be distributed to others. But as I've said, people are misusing the money, and you are giving me something of 200,000 out of that is 1 million. What do you expect me to do? Because in my plan, I would have planned for 1 million, that in case this 1 million comes, I'll invest in this, and that, knowing very well my target towards the end of the day will give me a profit of not less than 500, but you're giving me a smaller amount of money.
Does it qualify you to start drinking it?
So now what do you expect me to do? I had planned for 1 million. But you're giving me, that is, a cash of 200, and you're telling me to wait. I'm not certain of when the money will come. So that is one of the things which is pulling people down. And Federick, you know very well, someone cannot die of hunger because he's having the money. I can't allow my family to starve because it is a government money which was meant maybe for something else. The worst of all, you have given me less money. Now what do you expect me to do? All in all, let them scrutinize, let them come out openly and give people the money they need. Otherwise, if you are giving people bit by bit, the half or even quarter of the money they were supposed to get, automatically that project will go off. Maybe one last thing. We saw the president of Uganda, he was trying to give the work plan of what to do, the fish pond, these other ones. He was even trying to divide the money, that this one can be used for 200,000, the other one 500. So it becomes very hard if you're giving me that small amount of money.
All right, let's take a break from here. Actually, we are going to come back to proceed with the PDM issues and also many other issues, because I want to really understand what is going on wrong from your perspective. You can share with us your opinions, your comments. We'll be also able to project them here live. Let's take a break. Thank you.
West Nile TV, lighting up the region.
Football, our boys, our style. Star Times UPL new season starts 15th September. Go for it!
What a finish from Fukume!
The Ugandan flair, Brazilian samba, Portuguese magic, the night football craze. More TV games live on Senyuka Prime and Fufa TV only on Star Times.
The Star Times UPL, our league, go for it.
West Nile TV, lighting up the region.
Alright, welcome back from that commercial break. We are earlier on discussing on the highlights of the issues that will be discussed here, but also giving you a glimpse of what is actually taking place about the program that is said to be a hot cake right now, where every RDC is supposed to, even when you are in the toilet, you need to talk about PDM. Wherever you are going, you have to shout PDM. That's what is actually going on, and the program is actually not being utilized very well. That is the point we're actually coming from. What is the issue? What is happening from the time of recruitment or getting the beneficiaries? What has gone wrong? And then also moving to the issues of disbursement. The rightful procedure has been followed, but also now after the disbursement, who is there to do follow-up? Who is that person who is looking at whether these people are putting the monies in the right use? That is where we're actually coming from. Maybe peace. Yes, still with you. Okay. Let me engage you on this. You were still talking about the little monies that are given to people, paparis and so on and so on. What is your understanding of the whole thing from the start of these monies being given, actually from the time when they were getting these people on board, reaching the time when these people got these small monies you are talking about?
Yes.
Is the process being followed rightly? Because I've been getting a lot of complaints, and actually this resulted up to the arrest of one of the PDM chairpersons in Yarua City here. Remember the issues of extortion, the issues of before you get the benefit to the beneficiary list, you have to pay something. Before you start receiving the money, you have to pay another one. The LC one says you for me to put the stamp.
You pay
the
for
5,000 will first come.
You pay for the pen.
You see this?
And
okay. The chairperson says for me to print for you is it the Constitution? Your group should first pay 15,000. These things are happening. So what is the situation like in your own assessment? Is it the right way we are accessing government programs, or people are actually just trying to milk government without even following the due processes? At the end of the day, beneficiaries actually give up, or they mismanage those programs because they have gone through hurdles to access the programs.
Thank you. I like the way you brought it, starting it out with the beneficiaries. Some of the beneficiaries, they were registered, but they're not even sure whether they're going to get the monies or not. And probably I was thinking maybe the way it was being disbursed, because now people were thinking to themselves, if those amount of money are going into one's account, that is the parish chiefs, they may be tempted not to distribute the money according to the way it was meant to be. And most of the beneficiaries deep down in the villages, you know, some of them, or some of us, the rural people, we don't understand some of the process. We are not all that literate. So for us to wait for the final thing to come on the table, I may go and sign for the agreement, but without even receiving the money. I was thinking maybe if there could be other avenues, if there could be other follow-ups, because if you look critically, Federick, most of those monies being disbursed, they were handed the full authority to the parish chiefs, so they are the ones to distribute this and that and that. And also, maybe one thing that is still related, that is connected.
If you look at the distribution process, or maybe disbursement process, the parish chiefs are not signatories.
Yes, they're not signatories.
That's one thing. But they are monitoring what is going on. But the contrary I see in this is the banks are the ones issuing these monies. Okay, the banks issue these monies upon the approval of the parish chiefs and the boards. The boards, I mean the chairpersons of the committees, the groups, and so on. But you realize that when these monies are wired into the accounts of the individuals, there's no one who knows how much who received, and there's no one who is following up where this money is going with the money.
And maybe back to the beneficiaries, we have been seeing people who are eligible to benefit. We have been saying that there are some segregations whereby in the due course, in the due process of registering people who are supposed to benefit from the parish development model thing, we have been saying that is news coming round. You find it is connected, it has become now hereditary. It is following a line of a family whereby you find maybe one family is having more members as the beneficiaries and leaving others behind. As we have been saying also, the LCs, they have registered themselves, but that thing was meant for other people. So that is one thing which people are asking themselves, and they're still up to now thinking that, well, how was this thing meant? And as we have been saying, people in the villages, most of them, they are not sensitized very well about the parish development model thing. They're just getting to know about it on medias and maybe as rumors. But going deep down to the ground, if you try moving to the local people, some of them, or most of them, the bigger percentages, they'll tell you they were not sensitized about how to use the money very well. That's why you are seeing some of the people misusing the money. As we have been seeing the video also moving, whereby the woman bought bananas for people to move on them. Because you find those are kind of people who are not sensitized very well, who are not guided, that maybe when this money comes, you are supposed to use it in this line, in this line, and this line. And also, some of those characters or some of the behaviors are coming as a result of frustration. You may be promised that you're going to get the money maybe in the next 2 weeks or in the next 1 month. You plan your things very well, but the 1 month will elapse, plus other days will also elapse. Automatically, someone will get frustrated, meaning the timing for distributing the money has not been stipulated very well. All in all, if some of these programs or some of these poverty elevation projects of the government are to proceed or to move on very well, let them first learn how to engage people at the grassroots very well, how to sensitize them, and also they should struggle hard to distribute this money at a timely basis, not going far beyond the expected. We all understand some government projects or government fundings, they don't come maybe in a day. We all understand. That's why most government things, they give a period, a grace period. And one thing which has caused laxity, that is in the PDM fund, remember they have been given a grace period of how much? Around 24 months.
2 years.
2 years. That is for someone to use the money, do this, then that. So most of the people always think that this 2 years, even if I misuse the money, I will get other avenues of refunding back the money. And that is one thing which is making these people to misuse the money. The more time you give someone, the more the person will become relaxed. And I'm telling you out of experience, I've been moving around. If you interview people at the grassroots or at the local level, they'll tell you, I had made, that is, more profits or more outcome from the PDM money. And right now, I can't pay because the government gave us, that is 2 years. So I'll first use this money and maybe I'll get into more. But we all know business is all about profit and loss. Today you may get the profit, but the next time you'll be in a loss. So that's one thing which is highly affecting the development of PDM.
You landed on those ones who are well behaved, people who are actually using the money in the rightful way. If they are talking about profits, the ones I got, sorry to say that most of them were drunkards, and
but also,
they did not use the money very
but also I blame it on the period, as I told you.
Sometimes, yeah, most of these enterprises are to do with agricultural things. Talk about, somebody is talking about planting tree, actually tree planting. Some people are talking about crops and so on. These are things that need rainy season. But now this is December. You're giving money at this time. People are going to eat all these monies, buy clothes. The ones who have never bought clothes for their wives and children, they will now even buy those expensive ones. I have seen many people already in suits buying coats and so on.
I hope I'm not among them. I hope I'm not included.
You remember the RCC told us that for us we don't benefit.
By the way, that's one thing which is causing segregation, discrimination.
At least you are not around the 37% poor.
No,
if we divide your salary, it's close to 5 5,000 or 3,500 per day.
But
so if you look at the 3,500 per day, you are somehow better. Because if you look at Uganda's poverty line, it's about $1, right?
But yeah, it is $1.
So if you do it in Uganda shillings, that is 3,700. So you are above poverty line in Uganda.
Federick, I was thinking, since the project was to elevate poverty, why can't they start with people who have some enterprises? They first support those ones, they grow up to some level, and then they also start giving back the money. Not like starting
they want
from zero.
everyone to be at the same the same part.
But you know, someone can be tempted because he used not to have those amount of money, like 1 million. If you give someone 1 million right now at the grassroots, the person will be tempted to go and buy clothes. That is for the Christmas or for the festive. But if you give it to someone like Federick here, who is already smart, he won't think of maybe going to buy coats or this and that. He will invest the money, and at the end,
but it comes to sensitization, but also how do you engage the community. When you are giving something for someone, even if it is free, you need to tell the person how to actually use this thing and what you expect out of him about the issue. Maybe if you are giving him a goat, before even somebody may be thinking that, why can't I sell this goat and even get money from it? And yet your intention is that this person should be able to engage in goat rearing in the near future and should be able to multiply from this one goat. So what you do is you have to give this person a very good guidelines and engage him on how to actually raise the goat, and also tell him what it needs to be done for him to become a wealthier person. Okay. Not really necessarily giving the goat that I have given you goat. Now you go and maybe tender it, go and rear it and so on. Because there are some people who do not even have a knowledge of even a mere tethering the goat. Giving the goat water, people don't care. They feel like goats can survive just by their own. Maybe the water they will get from the grass they eat and so on. You see those things. So that is one thing. You need to empower the people who are going to actually benefit from such projects and give them the light on how they should proceed. Even most of these people wrote the projects, they had their project proposals, but they don't know how to even execute the projects. True. For instance, somebody has maybe said he wants to venture into piggery. This is somebody who grew up even not knowing how a pig eats, and also what type of food the pig likes most. You see that somebody will be able to mix prepare with the with the bread and give to this pig. The pig dies. You see that? Those are things I expected to be done before even disbursement of funds. And that's why the mindset issue was the first thing, the first pillar. But this was not, this was actually the most neglected one. So you realize that many people now buy these things like the videos you saw, the issues of people buying a banana, stepping on it, others saying, okay, this is free money, the government money which is donated to them because they have voted for him. They are also going to vote for him again now. What is their benefit? You see those things. Now you give somebody a grace period of 2 years. Do you think this person will be second enough to say, I need to do it very quickly and save some money so that I offset? It will not happen because people feel relaxed. The grace period is too much. That's one thing. Two, you have team staff in the technical wing who are there to do implementation. You have one parish chief, the whole parish. Okay, a parish might have 11 villages. Okay, and each village might have maybe close to 500 to 1,000 homesteads. Now the beneficiaries under these villages. So how will you make sure that the information that is passed reaches every individual in this village? That is another thing. How about looking at the individual projects that have been put to get the money? That is another issue. Okay. Now you need to impact knowledge onto these people who have sent in their proposals. Since for you want to venture into crop production, you have a quarter of land. I will advise you to use that land for maybe rearing chicken. Okay, we have experts. They are coming to give you knowledge on how to do chicken rearing. Very simple. Guide the farmers. This knowledge is not there, and that's why you see a farmer behaves like a primary teacher behaves like an LSU one, and everyone is just uniform. Because the money puts all of you at the same rate. You booze around, you do everything, and even you have the order to say, bring 1 crate here. You see that? These are things that are happening, and why we're not making fun of the project, but the issue is we have not really done the rightful thing in as far as implementation is concerned. Look at also the issues of the disbursement of the funds. The bankers come with their cars, and you saw what Post Bank was doing in the Rural District. They come there, they stage there, everyone is coming. People go and pick the cars, they move. But you don't tell them about financial literacy. When you want to venture into an enterprise, for instance, you are buying goods. Keep other part of the money for medicines. Keep the other part of the money for labor. Okay? It's very important for you to pay the person who is tailoring the goods, because it is a business. Now that is where we have failed actually as a country in as far as implementation of projects is concerned. So we need to look at all those avenues to avoid these issues of every time burying money into projects. We have seen so many projects named in the names of Northern Uganda, a lot of things. And these have all not really faced anything and changed the situation. And people continue to talk about the war that ended some time back. The Corn War, which ended some time back. Some of us were born when we did not see the war. But we are talking about the impact of the war, that we are poor because of the war. And yet, we were born with different minds. We are still reflecting on the war, that we were affected by the war. How long shall we continue to talk about the war when government is actually dispersing a lot of billions? If you calculate the money that has been put into different projects of livelihood in northern Uganda, good trillions that could even construct a lot of bridges, tarmac a lot of roads, have been wasted. I will say wasted, because we have even heifers that were donated to women leagues under NRM. Up to now, there's no woman who is selling milk in this town. I cannot see it. You see, there are some ex-combatants who received the heifers, who received the fruits. Up to now, these are people who are the beggars on the streets of Waro town. You wonder what is happening. So we need to change the strategy of implementing projects. First of all, let's look at the issues of sensitization, and also look at the individuals who are actually benefiting. Don't give knowledge to people who are gathered in a crowd. Make them understand at individual level. If this one is talking about goat rearing, collect all those who are doing goat rearing together and start educating them on what it needs to be done to do goat rearing, to do sheep rearing, to do maybe dairy, to do what, even those who are doing business. There are people who are selling mukene, they even don't know what type of quality of mukene people actually need most. But also which one lasts longer, because in case you don't sell all of them in the same period of time, well, how about the issues of keeping them for long? How about the issues of subsidizing costs? Where will you balance the money? There are issues of people starting to feed on whatever they are actually doing as business. Now, how do you balance the money? These are things we need to educate people about. How about savings? Okay, the issue of savings is another issue. People, after realizing that maybe today I've made a profit of 5,000, they want to eat 8,000 out of what is there. They don't know that they're actually already entering into the capital. That is one thing we need to actually do before we give people money. I was tempted to say maybe the first year of this project would have been sensitization, education, and so on, and then preparing these people. Now, if this person is saying I have 1 acre of land, is it true that the technical person has gone to assess this land? Is it 1 acre? Now, what about the soil type? Is it favorable to the enterprise, the person that is taking? These are things we need to look at before now we come to the money issue. Now, when it comes to money, I've seen many people now looking at technocrats as if they are the ones distributing meat. Okay, you have seen when you have two women. I'm sorry to say this. When you have two wives, now you have even 1 kilogram of meat that you have brought home, and all these women are here standing, and you are measuring the meat
in front of them.
One of the wives will be tempted to say that you cheated on me. You see that? But we should be keen enough when we implement the projects to avoid these issues of projects getting maybe wasted, and also many other things not really feeling the impact of the projects. Maybe Jalshiga, I've said a lot of things instead of discussing it together, because I felt touched about this project. What do you make of them?
You were lamenting those things, and they were all rightly, because once you have a feel and you want to express your feelings about something, you need to take it up to the dots, and that's why I was giving you the space also to discuss and to give to them what you feel could be best. And I love one thing, Federick, on the beneficiaries once again. As I've said, we know when someone, the simple example, when you're going to process a loan that is in the banks, first thing they will ask you, what is your loan credibility? Do you have any records of paying the loans? And they will ask you, have you ever received some loans? And if yes, what are the statements? How have you been behaving? Have you been paying them rightly? If they say that you don't qualify, they will even tell you openly, they'll give you a guide that we are sorry, you may not be in position to process these loans. And these are the same things which are happening. And the government, they should borrow this leaf, because we have been seeing it is happening, whereby you find the same beneficiaries who fail to repay the money for the youth livelihood program is the same beneficiaries who is coming to request for a loan that is from the PDM fund. The same person is going to be given money for, that is the Emioga, the PDM, and the youth livelihood program. And how do you come to trust this person? What is the credibility of this person paying the loan? So these are some of the things they should be looking through, and they should be involving more the LCs and the grassroots, because they are the ones who knows. And as you have said, let them be giving the guide. You LC, you are giving us these names of persons. Do you trust them? How much do you know about them? And if maybe they fail to pay us this amount of money, are we able to get these things back? And one thing, Federick, to be sincere, also let them be looking at their security. Like maybe in case this person failed to refund the money, is there any avenue whereby you can go and get these monies back? But if you are giving money just to free people, we all know how people behave. They have different behaviors. Someone may not be that is in position of having some good amount of money. We have ever experienced this thing at the local level, whereby someone will be witnessing. Since I was born, I never had that is 1 million cash in my pocket. Some people will even be witnessing. So in the moment that person gets to land on that amount of money, automatically the person will get confused, and he will even forget of the plans that they had. And I love one thing you lamented, the land. How much land is someone having? You're giving money to someone who's not having even a piece of land. What do you expect the person to do?
The document that he has a land.
And maybe last thing for now, we are missing the government getting hose. The moment the hose are given, PIM like this, someone is already in the market auctioning the hose there and then. So what do you expect from this kind of people? Automatically the project will hit a snag and it won't produce the intended purpose. So all we have to do is we need to follow the right procedures and give the beneficiaries who are eligible. And we have been saying now, of recent, the government have shifted now into giving some of these things to the leaders. I remember of recent, heifers were given to the religious leaders, to the political leaders. At least those people, they can be in position of having some skills, and they don't feel like misusing it so much, even though some are, as I've said, you're not seeing the milk coming. Maybe the heifers, the heifers are yet growing, or they first want to accumulate. And these are some of the things, and I believe, if the government first shifted into helping the leaders or people who have something, trust me, these projects will not hit a snag and it will produce what it was supposed to produce. Thank you.
Okay. I understand, and I hope that many people will be able to pick a leaf from what we are able to discuss based on the journalist's perspective, and also understanding what is actually going on ground, that we should be able to really look at the strategies we're implementing projects with, but also looking at the aspect of how do we engage stakeholders, different players in decision making. When we are coming up with a project, can we involve everyone and look at what can be done to ensure that the project is successful, much as there will be funding for it, if there is hope for the funding. Now, what is it that we can deploy? What are the strategies to make sure that it is a success? We appreciate you. That is what we are able to bring for you here on the highlights of some of the issues that are here. Let's take a break from here, and we'll be actually coming back with the many more other issues that we'll be discussing shortly. Thank you.
West Nile TV, lighting up the region.
Football, our boys, our style. Star Times UPL new season starts 15th September. Go for it!
What a finish from Fukume!
The Ugandan flair, Brazilian samba, Portuguese magic, the night football craze. More TV games live on Senyuka Prime and Fufa TV only on Star Times.
The Star Times UPL, our league, go for it.
West Nile TV, lighting up the region.
Welcome back from that commercial break. Earlier on we were discussing a lot of issues to do with government projects or programs that have been rolled out to talk about the youth livelihood programs, the WEP, the entrepreneurship, that is the women entrepreneurship program.
Yeah.
Yes, and also many others that we may mention, the Northern Uganda, what, a lot of them. These have been actually tailored towards eradicating poverty and also ensuring that the livelihoods of the people are improved. The issues to do with making sure that people come out of extreme poverty has been the issue. But we show a list of 7 projects that were rolled out. Out of them, nothing was achieved so much. And this is tailored towards implementation. So how do we implement projects? That is one big issue that has been actually coming throughout. And we show strategies laid out that no money should not go through the hands of the technocrats who tend to divert some of the monies. And also that has not also achieved so much. And we have seen a lot of arrests shown here and there and shown. We hope they will be able to have an influence into the issues of putting monies into the right use. Let's move away from that discussion, but we move to the issues to do with social services that have been delivered and many other issues that are happening. I remember there were engagements done at different local governments by West Nile Civil Society Network, and they were able to ask people about what they are able to do. And now that donors are not there in most of the enterprises that the country is taking toll with, what is it that is going on in most of the local governments? We have seen poor road network, and we have seen the issues of health facilities, dilapidated state, and also many other things. Maybe peace. What do you make of most of the social services that have been delivered in most of the local governments? What do you make of them? What is the situation like in most of these local governments? Yes.
Thank you, Federick. When you're talking about that is service delivery at the local government level, there are so many that is introduced or given by the government. But if you look at how the programs are being or is working or is proceeding, I don't think it is going as the intended purposes. Because now in this country called Uganda, we have a lot of programs being implemented both for the local governments and other levels. But I will keep saying this thing, not for bad. In Uganda, we are good at implementing policies, but one thing, doing follow-ups is one of the biggest challenge that is letting down. Most of these projects, as you have said, the states of the projects or the services, most of the things right now, they are at a dilapidated states. They are not all that it was supposed to be, and I will continue by saying, let them come up with a right way of doing policing, of maybe doing a right follow-ups, not like just handing over to the local government. Otherwise, that we are going to see arrests of them being made. And one thing I fail to understand, most of these things at the local government, when it comes to maintenance, I will say they have failed to maintain them because of their belief that it is the central government to come and maintain them. And probably the excuses they are giving at the local level is that most of the funds or the revenues they are collecting deep down at the local government level, they are being remitted back to the central government. So it is the central government to plan for them, like, we are going to give you this amount of money, and they are always proposing if government could allow them to use a bigger percentages of the revenue collected down at the local routes, or we call it the local revenues, like the taxes, the market dues, this and that. Those things will help them to maintain the buildings which are at a certain stage, and that is one thing which is highly affecting the government. I also believe if the government can feel like, okay, out of 100% revenue we have collected, let's give half to remain at the local government's account, while out of the 50% we also do some top up with them to make it around 60 there. That will become something good, and automatically people at the grassroots or the local government, they won't be in position to blame the government too much. And also I believe if they're given the opportunity to develop themselves, for them they feel they're not independent because decisions are taken or are made from the upper level, not at the grassroots. For them, they may come up with the plans because for them they're on the ground, they know we need this and that. And if you send the proposal to the central authority, for them they will also first look through them. They'll give priorities like which one should we give first. You may have those education department, the health, and maybe transport. We're talking about the roads, but it is the people at the top to first look through which one do you need most. And when you people at the local government, you may be in position to work on this thing. So let the government understand the situation at the ground. If I was maybe there, or I'll give them some period, we give them a trial period of 2 years. You allow them to first use the revenue they're getting deep down from the local government. You give them the opportunity to use it. If it works according to plan, you implement it. But if it fails, you have to come in and we proceed. And that is how I feel it should be done by the government.
Okay, that is it, and it's very, very important that we actually need to look at those issues, especially at local government. Service delivery is not really to the test. That's why really many Ugandans are feeling that the government is not actually doing well in as far as delivering services that are expected of government to the people is concerned. Talk about the issues of road network. Yesterday I was so just feeling that that was the best experience, where I saw the district leaders of our road district stuck on the road and the community members rejected actually helping them, and that was one funny bit of it. And people were saying that there have been repeated calls that the roads should be maintained. They did not maintain for quite a long period of time, and that's why they were not ready to come and help them. That's one funny bit, but also
no,
yes.
it was funny, but that you may think it was funny, but that is one thing people everywhere have been praying for, that at least let those guys at the administrative level also get stuck, and we see how they will get themselves out of the trouble. And people have been praying that at least let them come when it rains. They'll be able to overturn and see who will help them. So you know very well, at times they say experience is the best teacher. Meaning, after those people experiencing the hardship of the road,
I hope they will be bringing the grader.
Yeah,
that was said not to
because
be released.
I feel like right now they're frustrated, they are annoyed, and like, indeed, these people are suffering. These people deep down, they're suffering. It was a good experience, though it was funny. They have learned. In Africans, at times we learn in a hard way.
Okay.
Yeah, that was good.
Yes. If you look at the situation in health facilities, most of the health facilities look to be dilapidated in terms of structures, but also looking at the patient attendance in every health facility. For instance, in Arua district, they have one doctor that is actually confirmed. So the whole district having a doctor is another issue there. How will he or she help in the situation of helping the people in most of these local government or in these health facilities is another issue that we need to look at. But also in other events, you realize that in schools, the schools are overwhelmed, and much as the children are already for public holiday or they are actually for leave, the issues of teenage pregnancies are the biggest issues. The sex among children is on rise, but also many other factors that are attributed to this include the disco operations, the night markets, and many others that are actually affecting a lot of the health of the young people, the young children, and so on. And this is actually retarding the girl child and the boy child from schools. And if you look at the statistics that have been actually shared, you realize that out of so many learners that were registered, talk about that the 2,500 from one sub-county, that is Vura, close to 50% of the boys among the dropouts. So you realize that most of these boys are victims of the teenage pregnancy cases, the issues of defilement and so on, but also there are others who have been taken up by events across the border. Talk about the smuggling, the trade, where people feel like they are able to get cheap money. That is another issue that is actually of interest, that is escalating. But also looking at many other issues, we really feel like we need to come down to the communities to ensure that we understand what is actually going on, because the issues of GBV, we may talk about it, but some of the factors tend to be twisting to what government is not really doing enough in terms of health facilities. Many people are going to the traditional herbalists because they feel like when I go to the health facility, I will not get the drugs. For instance, at Vura Health Center 3, I got information that out of the whole financial year, they received only drugs for 2 times, okay, 2 times, and they're supposed to receive 8 times. So 6 of them have not been received. So what do you think the whole population will be able to get served of? So people will be impressed in these traditional healers and so on. The herbalists we talked about.
But by the way, we are not encouraging them to go to the herbalist, but as I've said, we all know where Vura is located. They are almost at the border point of Uganda and the Democratic Republic of Congo, meaning even people who are crossing from Congo, they may be able to come and get services that is from Vura Health Center, as I've said, and also considering the number of people, the population that is within the sub-counties, they don't have anywhere to go. You try looking at the other nearby health center, which can help or serve as a substitute or as a backup to that health center. You find it is some kilometers away. So if the government is releasing, that is giving them for just 2 times out of 8 times, now what do you expect? Automatically the people will have to go and look for other alternatives, and we know people may not be in position of having the money to go and buy that other things, other drugs or other medication from elsewhere. And one thing, people have lost interest in going into some of these health centers simply because when you go there, they will test you, they will give you all the results that you need, but at the end, they will tell you, you know what, you go and get yourself, that is medication from the nearby clinics or to the nearby drug shop. So these are some of the things, and that's why people feels like, even if I'm to die, let me die when I don't know what I'm suffering from. Federick, trust me, it hurts someone, it pains you, knowing you have this kind of sickness, but you can't afford to get the right medication. Because if you don't know what you're suffering from, you may just be assuming, maybe I'm having this, maybe I'm having this. And after knowing, the stress itself will come onto you. But as myself, I would think, let them first prioritize people who are in those hard-to-reach areas. Because once you delay to give them the services, we all know we are talking about the nature of the roads not being good or not being favorable, the impassable. In case of emergencies, they have nowhere to go. And the simplest place or the nearby places they can get those services are the health centers which are next to them. It is not only Vura. Almost all the rural health centers, they are suffering from these places. We are talking about lack or shortage of specialists, the doctors to handle those people. As I stated earlier, the overwhelming number of patients going to the facilities, at times even you don't blame the doctor, because if a ratio of 1 doctor is to 20 patients in a day, or 10, even if it is 5, it becomes hectic, meaning every day you have to attend to 5 patients. And we know for them they have schedules. Those specialists, they are not that every day. At least they need some break so that their brain can relax and they do what is expected. Now, one person alone cannot handle all those cases, and automatically it will lead to the poor service delivery as far as health is concerned. And we all know health is wealth.
Okay,
thank you.
All right, Peace, you've really done a lot deliberations on the issues of social service delivery. We are all aware that services like education, health are primarily the roles of government to the citizens, and it is a human right that everyone has to be educated, everyone has to receive treatment at a public health facility and so on. Many others that we talk about, security and many other issues that we always talk about. And also access to good roads is a primary role of government to ensure that people are able able to move through good roads. But what about the roads that come from your home to the main road? You are supposed to be responsible for that, and that's the responsibility of you as an individual. If you don't want, the Jews will wash you every morning as you are coming to the public. That is it. Let's leave that there and move to politics, where the Democratic Party that is led by Norbert Mao, who is currently the Minister for Justice and Constitutional Affairs, who is there, is coming out, and actually DP is rolling out a countrywide tour and also doing their consultations. That is said to be the listening tour from the people across the country, and this is expected to start by 1st of December, and this will go for 7 days across the country, and that is one big story here that is going on. Remember, DP has two factions. This is after the 10 DP president, that is Norbert Mao, joining the president, that is actually the team in NRM camp. After signing that agreement, many of the DP people or delegates were not satisfied. They had to come up with another faction that is led by the Buikwe staff member of parliament, who actually is leading another team there. That is Michael, is spearheading another faction that will be also moving for the countrywide tours. So we will have two tours from DP that will be led by different factions. One by Norbert Mao's team, and also this by Michael's team. And Lobega is one of the persons who has joined Michael, and all of them will be also for their tour. So what does this mean? We have DP that has now been left with the 9 members of parliament representation, and that is another issue there. I think it is the third last opposition party, or the fourth opposition party having representation in big numbers in the members of in the floor of parliament. That is the 11th parliament that we have right now. And DP has been ever having issues in as far as the management or the leadership is concerned. We show the issues of some of the delegates saying they don't want Norbert Mao there after this was certainly when he signed that agreement with the president of the Republic of Uganda, that is His Excellency Yoweri Museveni Kaguta, who actually said this is actually a unifying agreement, an agreement that will actually ensure that there is free or that kind of transition of power that will be seen for the first time in a peaceful manner, and there will be nothing like defiance, nothing like use of weapons in the times of transition. And that was the ambition of Norbert Mao as he joined the National Resistance Movement Party president, that is His Excellency Yoweri Museveni Kaguta, who is also the head of state of this country, spearheading NRM. And you realize that a lot of issues are now coming up. People are saying, whom should we receive first? You see, that is what is happening now at regional level. Many delegates are saying, when Norbert Mao comes, we will chase him away. Others are saying, no, we will chase Lobega's team away. So which one is which? And that is one thing that is actually rocking the bottoms of many people, the minds of people. People are failing to really say a lot of things from that. Maybe peace. Let me bring you on this. What is quite interesting in DP that you are seeing, that they are starting their listening tour that is said to be launched on 1st of December.
Frederick, the fact is I fail to understand what is happening in or with opposition that is in this country called Uganda, because we are seeing most of them are trying to become double. You find almost all the traditional political wings in Uganda, they are trying to divide themselves, and we all know their struggle. They're trying to come into power, but now they're also trying to divide the little supporters that they have. Now you just say from the ground, people are debating who should we welcome, who should we not welcome, who is the right person and who is not the right person. And you will come to ask yourself, why are these things happening? What is inside there that they're not revealing to the public? Let them come openly and tell people this and this are happening, and don't be surprised very soon to see them accusing each other. This one will say, we are not happy about this one's leadership. We are also not happy about this one's leadership. Why can't you also consult your supporters on some of these things? So it clearly shows that there is a lot of divisionism among themselves inside their house. Now, we assume if you people in your own house, in your own office, you are divided and the effect is being felt out by the public automatically, people out will lose, that is the interest, they will lose the trust, and don't be surprised to find people, that is the supporters, also running away. And that's why you see people shifting or defecting from one political party to the other political party, because they feel like we are too tired of this, and you only find some small staunch supporters of a party remaining. So I fail to understand, why can't you create your own? We are seeing another copy of, that is a DP coming. Will the Electoral Commission also grant them the permission to contest? How will they contest? You are under DP. There's one president under that same DP, and you're also coming with your own, that is political party, under the same. So it makes no sense for you to say you're breaking away, but you have another copy of a registered political party in the country. It becomes very hard, and also the administrative system of your own becomes very hard. And we all know very soon, in the next few years or next few months, the campaign is beginning for their countrywide tour. Maybe we assume you have come to me and you say you belong to this political party, right? That is the original, I know. That one went. And then there's another copy coming that I also belong to the same political party. So don't vote this one. Don't accept this one. Don't accept this one. So you are confusing people within the local area. You're causing conflicts between the people. You are trying to confuse their minds, like I'm the right one, the other one is the right one. So it becomes very hard, and things you even find yourself causing fights among the supporters. Because for me, I will be like, I support Federick, while the other one saying, I support the other, I support Dramadri. So it becomes very hard, and we have been saying these things happening here and there. So all in all, let us find a way of harmoniously solving things. Simple example, even you are seeing it happening with the FDC. We have the other factions and also the other factions. Between themselves, they're fighting. They have the president, and maybe I'll attribute this thing, maybe the founders of these political parties, after handing over the offices to these other people, is it the greed? Are they after money, or they are after the leadership? That's one thing. We are still waiting for one day to come out and we understand what is the motive behind these people. Why are they splitting away? What does it mean, that is, to the country, Uganda? It is not only to the political side, but to the nation in general. If the political parties are fighting themselves within a country, it means the country is heading to the wrong direction. Let them first settle down so that we all know. If these things are happening, people out will think that maybe even during the final elections, some of these things will happen, and automatically it will affect the electoral process. Let's find ways of harmonizing these things once and for all. We stay under one umbrella. Thank you.
Okay, every political party has electoral commission that is set in each political party that is likely or set to ensure that they organize elections in every political party. So we hope that they will be able to preside over one political party and also do their elections amicably. Because we have seen these factions are not really yielding much. We show an example with the Forum for Democratic Change, where everyone was coming out. This is Kiza came with another one, and also Patrick Boya Muriat was also running with another one. So I show also on the other side, Basis run into National Unity Platform to try to say that we are one and so on. I don't know what that means to that party. But also many other issues are still going on. We hope that this tour will be a success, and there will be no more conflicts like the Katonga Road issue and the Nazana Kumpi issue. But the most important issue that we should be able to look at in most of these issues when people are talking about split in the political parties is how do you harmonize all this before the next or the next general elections come? Because it is good to also disagree sometimes, so that we understand who is who. and who is the real leader for us. That is good. If you are able to disagree, even if you want to exchange blows, it's okay. We welcome it. But we want to see a leader who stands very rightly and is able to really articulate issues that affect the community. It's not about fighting over who is to preside over the party, but it's about the service you want to deliver to the people. Do you want to tell us that you will be quarreling all the time? And now you are leading just a political party. What if we give you a county to lead? What will you do? Because there you will have a lot of opposition parties under you. You have even the rebel groupings who are trying to destabilize your peace and so on. How will you handle the external force that will be coming against you? And this is one thing we want to see. If they want to fight, let them fight. We are ready to see who is stronger and who will be really winning that race, to see that one of these political parties are able to front at least one individual to be a presidential candidate. Do not be surprised that some of these political parties will not be represented at the presidential race because of these factions that are coming, but also because of the conflicts that have not been harmonized many times. Let's take a break from here. We'll be coming to many other issues later on. Thank you.
West Nile TV, lighting up the region.
Football, our boys, our style. Star Times UPL new season starts 15th September. Go for it!
What a finish from Master Fukume!
The Ugandan flair, Brazilian samba, Portuguese magic, the night football craze. More TV games live on Senyuka Prime and Fufa TV only on Star Times.
The Star Times UPL. Our league, go for it.
West Nile TV, lighting up the region.
Alright, welcome back from that commercial break. Earlier on, we were discussing a lot of issues to do with the politics of this country. You get to understand that after elections, we're always seeing that most of these political parties have issues with maintaining their offices, looking at the leadership, evaluating them, and so on. You see that a lot of things happen. Maybe is it because they don't have enough money to maintain the offices, to maintain the leaders, or to pay even their taxes technocrats is another issue. We have seen the country given, especially the Electoral Commission, giving political parties money, and that has actually motivated many people, including hooligans, to form political parties. And the political parties do not have future that we can really be relying on. That's why sometimes you see others very dormant. They cannot even present presidential candidates. A mere candidate, even else1 cannot contest in them. So that's one thing we need to actually regulate some of these political parties. I may say that we should not be accommodating a lot of mess that will be seen in our elections all the time. But once you want to contest, join one of them. That's what I may say. Maybe Peace, what do you make of that? Should we say the issues of forming more political parties should stop, including even religions?
Yeah, it has to stop. This trend is getting very rampant and is going wild in the country called Uganda. Everything they're shifting to polygamous life. Because now if you're creating political parties after political parties, religion after religion, people are married. So that's why I'm saying the polygamy is not only in marriage, even in political parties. We have polygamous parties now. If one party is forming another party within a party, that is a polygamy already. And also we are seeing a lot of people coming with their own political parties. As I told you earlier, it is being motivated by money. People just are looking for avenues of making money in the names of politics and maybe also in the names of religion, and it is confusing people. It is confusing voters. Don't be surprised one day to see the votes also going below 50%. We know the standard for one to go through during an election, at least need to obtain 50%. So the more they're coming, the more they'll confuse people.
All right, we say thank you very much, DP, for the announcement. You can continue with your tour that is expected to start by December this year. Okay, that is just this week. All right.
Yeah.
Yes, we are left with
Friday.
2 days to complete the day,
the month.
So we'll be able to allow DP to continue with those kind of things. But also we say success to them as they go on with their trade to meet their populates, and also this be able to listen to them and also plan how they should be able to come up with their agenda or manifesto for 2026 general elections. That's very, very important. We say success to them. Whether there are 5 factions, all of them should now be able to allow to go and tell the people that we are going to have our delegates conference. We'll have elections. We'll see who is to be the genuine person spearheading DP. And I've seen the only tactful political party, the opposition political party that has been able to harmonize and manage their conflict is the only National Unity Platform. I would say congratulations to them, because I saw Bobi Wine moving around and doing his tour alone. There was no one coming the other side.
Maybe
so
because they're still new in the market.
Good advisors. Maybe I would say that could be the issue. But so thank you there, and also let's move away from that issue of politics and move to the Balalo issue. 17 charged because of the forceful evictions. Remember, there were attempts in Gulu where many members of the community, led by the former politician or the former member of parliament aspirant who actually led this demonstration, this team, to go and actually attack some of the Balalo. There were around 130 herdsmen who were forcibly evicted, and these culprits, 17, have already been committed to court pending court decisions. And this is one development that is coming from the issues of Balalo. 17 being charged. These include many politicians, including the LC3s, LC1s, and also MP aspirants, many other people, including civil society. This coming because already the people actually said that the due processes have not been followed, but also the issues of violating presidential orders, directives, is becoming too rampant, and citizens feel impatient of the implementation implementation of the presidential directive, and that's one big issue there that is happening in Gulu. I don't know why. Pish, if you have a little to say about this before we go to other issues. Yes.
As I have been lamenting those previous days, things of the balalo, things of the evictions, it has become something so crucial. We have been saying, as we have said, it is Odonga Oto leading those people, that is of the, surely as far as that is eviction of the balalos are concerned. And as I said it, the more they delay, the more you will see conflicts coming between those people. So the government should come out clearly to send those people back home, and so that the conflicts can be settled once and for all. Now, if you are saying arrest of the locals, what does it mean? It will create more enmity between the locals and the people who are the balalos, and at the end, it will fire back. It will backfire on the government. We know we are almost going to the right season or to the right period. So let them sort those things so that less of those conflicts are felt between the people.
But should we delay the implementation of a presidential order just because we want to understand what the locals have in their hearts or in their brains about some of these things? Because really the impact of the Balalo herdsmen is so hard that you really understand that people are not really getting enough support from government in as far as the issues are concerned, because these are coming from concerns raised by locals in as far as the issues of destruction to the crops and property is concerned. There were issues of theft of animals that were raised. What do you make of this? Is it that really government was delaying this so that people are charged before courts of law? Because now, if it is a presidential directive, that is already a decree. It's allowed by law that people have to follow these things. But if we continue buying time so that the community run impatient and they are again charged in courts of law, are we really just playing a tactics of trying to see that we arrest some people and take them to jail?
But maybe how can government play a delaying tactics in arresting its own citizens? We know people.
Why I'm saying this? Let me come in. Why I'm saying this is you saw the issues of postponing this kind of move from May
probably,
coming to September, coming to November. Up to now, there's no eviction that has been done, and you realize that people have become impatient. Now they've brought in the issue of foot and mouth disease, and now government is again saying there's no transport to ferry these animals. Has this been genuinely done? Yes.
Yeah, it is being genuinely done, Federick. When talking about issues of foot and mouth disease, what do you expect the government to do? Automatically, they have to give them some grace period. They have to give them some days of first going through, seeing how far the sickness will be. But also there are some places which are a bit safe. We can't say the mouth and foot disease have affected all the balalos. There are some districts which are safe, where the cases of the disease have not been reported, but still up to now they're being maintained. Maybe, as they have said, the government is not playing any delaying tactics. It's only giving those people enough ample time. We all know how government does its thing, but I will urge them to start taking them home. But also, you know, I may say the people are misinterpreting, because the terms is saying eviction, and we all know what eviction means. Evictions mean probably forcing someone to leave a place, and if they were maybe to sensitize those people about the eviction words or the statements, people will have the patience. But now you are coming up with such initiative of evictions of the balalos, meaning you are chasing them away. But all in all, since it is a government thing, it was declared by the president, let him also come out openly on a strict guidelines. Because
how the eviction should be done.
Yeah, on the process. And you know, he said people who have not fenced their land well should leave. So even the balalos, some of them have started fencing, but the locals,
but the locals are
fencing. No, because there was agreement. You're staying here, you graze here, don't allow your animals to cross. But now the actually people, all the people of northern Uganda, they're like, we can't allow this thing to happen. You didn't fence before, now why are you rushing? The more you rush, you will crash automatically. You come with the temporary.
Fine. We'll get more time to really understand that case as it goes by. We have a reporter who is based in Gulu who will be actually updating us in that in the subsequent news bulletin. That is the Nilecast in the evening. For those of you who are watching the television, you'll be seeing what is happening in the evenings. Okay, that is one of the big issues that is happening in northern Uganda. But also we felt we should not leave that out. Crossing to Kenya, there are 7 Kenyans who have been actually arrested for degrading wetlands in Uganda. That is found in Teso sub-region, and these are people who are along the Busia-Uganda border, and you realize that these have been actually caught red-handed slashing and also plowing wetlands in Uganda. This is one big issue there that the president has been actually so much stretching, and we may not go much into that. These 7 people have actually been taken to the police and under police custody, waiting for further processes to be put in. But also the anti-homosexuality law, petitioners have been given time now to start coming up with the court hearings and so on. 11th of December has been scheduled for the anti-homosexuality appeal or petition to be heard. And also moving forward, there are many other issues that are happening across the country, but also let's cross to Hague, that is in the headquarters of ICC, that is the International Criminal Court. That has been really a very big issue. The court case, you remember the court case between the president of Kenya now, that is William Ruto, including one journalist and many other people who had actually petitioned the ICC of crimes against humanity in ICC, and the ICC took over the case and decided to probe this further, and this case has actually been lost. Maybe what do you make of this? This is the first time I'm seeing the ICC actually losing a case against the president, because they have been actually charging many people and so on, and many South Africans were saying that actually maybe this ICC is meant for Africans.
Yeah, by the way, it's not only the South Africans, mostly it is the Africans.
And I saw some countries who are trying to opt out of that ICC.
Yeah, yes. The fact is most of the Africans who are being put on trials, that is with the ICC, it is very rare for them to win any case. It is very rare for them to at least even go to some extent of defending themselves. Most of them, most of the Africans or the leaders who are taken to ICC have been in position of losing their cases. And the president being the first person, in fact, to win against ICC, it shows that they are at least now having some credibility. They're having some balance as far as the Africans and the others are concerned. People are thinking, since it is outside Africa, maybe they're against the Africans, but that is not the case. We are happy, and me myself, I'm happy as being African. Now, someone being granted, you know, it is very rare for presidents to win such kind of things, and if he was to lose, what do you think was going to be? But also people are reacting in their own ways. But the fact is, he has been set free, he has won the case. That is the good news.
Okay, the journalist is also happy, and I saw in his tweet a lot of things there, but many times when you win a case, it's a plus for you, because really sometimes people are jailed just because of maybe conflict of interest. They might have not committed an offense, but you realize that people are just taken to jail because maybe they cannot now fail to defend themselves. At some point, even the statements that are made against you might be things things that you don't know about, and sometimes some courts do not really give that ample time to understand what you are supposed to do. You have seen situations of especially politicians being grabbed. You are taken straight to remand home. Okay, you are taken to remand in the prisons before even making a statement. They say no, we are going to follow it up later on, just to delay some time. That is a very, very good one for Africa. We celebrate that as East African community, and we hope that the crimes committed and also many other things, many of the leaders should be able to learn from that about the issues of when we are organizing elections. We should be able to minimize violence. We should be able to minimize these issues of fightings and so on during elections. That is one thing all these heads of states should be able to learn from that kind of thing. But also moving away from that, if you are following the war between the Palestinians and the Israelites, there's already a break again 2 days that I earlier told you. It has been given for them really people to do exchanges where the people who were abducted are given back to their countries and so on. We are here to see whether this will really go far much bigger and more days will be extended. It started with 1 day and now it has been granted 2 days, which is ending tomorrow. So we are here to see more pronouncements tomorrow or in the due course of the day as aid comes to the Hamas and so on. Many other people are actually benefiting from that. Peace. Let me have your concluding remarks, and we'll hand it over to the newsroom team. Yes.
Thank you, Federick. It has been interactive. As I started at the beginning, today is Wednesday. It is Women's Thrash Wednesday. So let's go and enjoy the day responsibly. For some of us who are going to party, meanwhile for those like Federick, let's also try to live responsibly, because some of people who are already married, let's try to be responsible. Let's try to be faithful. Because I've been saying now the case of gender-based violence is going high, and if you are maybe to violate the rules of the family, automatically it will lead you into something else, and it will, because that is family breaks up. So let's try to live responsible lives and we fight against gender-based violence. Otherwise, it has been fun and a blessed day. Thank you.
All right, thanks for your coming, and also those of you who have been watching. From me to you, I say thank you for participating from the start of the show up to where we are coming to conclude the show. One word. The month is ending. Some of you have received salaries. Please, let's make sure that we put them into right use. For those of us who are waiting, let's make sure that we plan very, very well when we are utilizing these monies that are given to us, so that we at least tomorrow see something changing in our homes, something changing in our society, but also most importantly, keeping the life healthy and kicking is what we will all talk about. Behind the camera is Design Pro, but also in the production room I have Aldo, who is right there. But also up next we'll be having the news in Lubrati, brought to you by Fete Emmanuel. Up next we'll be having that news. Thank you very much. Bye bye for now.